What happens when award-winning entrepreneurs from the western edge of Europe travel to countries on the eastern edge of the world? In a unique challenge, 3 of Ireland's leading business talents have agreed to travel to Asia, where they'll kickstart initiatives to help the poorest of the poor. Will hope survive when first world ambitions and third world realities come face to face? On the rooftop of the world, the views are magnificent, but in the kingdom of Nepal, they have learnt that towering peaks can only reach so far. The richness of the culture here stands in sharp contrast to the poverty of the people. In one of the most deprived countries in Asia, daily life is an uphill struggle. The majority get by on less than $1 a day. And as if that isn't enough, this is also a country which is picking up the pieces after 30 years of civil war. Back in Ireland, 2 entrepreneurs have signed up to lend a hand. The wind has been behind Entrepreneur of the Year finalists, Cully and Sully, since starting their food business in 2004, and their ready meals can now be bought all over the country.
We were kind of friends for years and stuff, and we kind of grew up kind of in a similar area and stuff. And then we were in college, we shared a house together in college. Colum was studying sculpture in Crawford, I was studying food in UCC. And it was there that we kind of, while we were sharing the house in college, we started chatting about different business ideas.
But I taught Sully how to cook bread eventually, you know, and make a decent pasta. So, and he's coming along nicely now.
Yeah, and I've educated Cullen about making a living.
Cully and Sully have agreed to leave their business and the comfortable surroundings of Cork to head to one of the most deprived countries in Asia, Nepal. There they hope to use simple business ideas to make a very tangible difference.
Cully and Sully are very different, suitably irreverent, very dynamic. They're young, they're brash, they're ambitious. They very much represent the new breed of entrepreneur in Ireland in the 21st century.
I suppose I feel very lucky that with the way Cully and Sully has gone, that we've been moderately successful and are very successful, really, I suppose, but it's still very young. And, you know, the thought of us going out to Nepal to try and do something to help the people to set up a business, if we were much more sort of established, I kind of feel like, you know, I'd feel more comfortable probably doing it.
The English market is unique to Cork. There isn't, you know, fancy packaging going on here. There isn't anything, you know, phenomenally complicated about here. It's you have your stall, you sell your product for the right price, and you pay your farmer correctly. So there are a lot of parallels here to what we think we'd like to do when we get out there. It's a massive task. It's a massive challenge.
Cully and Sully fly to the Kingdom of Nepal, where their first stop is the ancient capital of Kathmandu. Time to savour the sights. At the revered Pashupatinath temple, Cully and Sully meet local guide Dinesh. He explains the Nepalese tradition of cremating their dead in public.
The closest member of the family takes a flame and goes around 3 times around the pyre, and he puts the flame in the mouth of the dead person, and after that he leaves and the professional takes over.
And is everybody from Kathmandu cremated here?
Well, most people end up over here.
Yeah.
I'm confident, I'm going to be I'll end up over here as well.
You're confident of that. Kathmandu is an awful lot different to what I expected. Western Europe and here are just so far apart. I mean, every single person here is selling something. They're very, very, very entrepreneurial.
The market scene is interesting as well. I always think it's interesting that we're going back to having markets now, whereas the markets here are obviously been here for years and years. That's the way they operate, you know what I mean? And we're actually in Ireland going back to that sort of a system again with our farmers' markets.
No, I think it's fine. No, it's okay. I think this is okay. We've lots now.
Realising that Kathmandu's market traders have already a sharpened entrepreneurial instinct, Cully and Sully decide to move on. Dinesh offers to take them to see sights that tourists never see. At the city dump, much more than refuse is going to waste.
And who are these people?
These are most of these people. They've come from the hills, from the mountains. They've come to Kathmandu looking for some kind of a dream, some kind of a job. They come here with hope, but they couldn't find it, and this is what they're reduced to.
You just don't see the side to Kathmandu when you're going around like the way we did for the last couple of days, seeing the sights and that kind of stuff. I mean, this is horrendous. I mean, it's just full of kids and just grim. I mean, there's no childhood for any of these people here, I don't know if Cully and Sully can change this. I mean, I think if we can help one family out and kind of prevent one family from ending up in this, I think that'd be great.
I'd really be fascinated to go and find out where they've come from and go and see those places and see if there's something we can do, like, in a very simple kind of a community, and see how we can help it from the ground up.
Most of Kathmandu's deprived have migrated there from the mountain regions in search of a livelihood. So it is there that Cully and Sully decide to head. Their destination is Simikot, in the far west of the country, one of the most inaccessible places in Nepal. The village is a strenuous 10-day hike from the nearest road, so the only way in is to land a small aircraft on a rudimentary runway. With so few visitors reaching this part of Nepal, the arrival of 2 Irish businessmen is the only show in town.
There's about, I'd say, something like 150 of the ladies dressed up in all their old and beautiful attire. It was completely overwhelming. They just came up to us and they put this tika on our foreheads and the garlands around our necks, and they're all just terribly beautiful and really peaceful and welcoming.
One reason why Cully and Sully came to Simikot was because they had heard about an Irish woman working in the area. When Nikki Deasy decided to move on from her high-flying corporate job in Ireland, she went from one extreme to another.
I felt if I was going to do voluntary work, I should go to somewhere where it was off the beaten track. There's not that many NGOs here. It's not like there hasn't been a tsunami, there hasn't been an earthquake. It's not really top of the kind of pile in media terms, but it probably is the country that has the most issues and needs the most assistance.
Nikki brings Cully and Sully to a mountaintop, where she has organised a meeting with the women from the surrounding villages. It is an invaluable opportunity for Cully and Sully to find out just what is needed most in the area. Some of the women have walked all day just to be here.
Namaste. Namaste. My name is Colum O'Sullivan. I come from Ireland, which is a country on the western side of Europe.
My name is Cullen Allen, and it's a great honour to come to your village here and meet all you people, and for you all to be here to meet us.
What's important for us is that we listen to you and to try and understand your needs and to see what we can do to help you.
हाम्रो महिला मार्फत यस्तो गरी आएर किनकि दुःख पाएर हामीले यस्तो गर्दा हामीले खुसी पनि छौं हामी गर्ने चाहना पनि छ तर साधन छैन सामान छैन हामीले गर्ने जाँगर जोस पनि त्यसै मरेर आउँछ अहिले हामी प्लास्टिकले बेरेर भए पनि एक कुण्डला साग बेचेर पनि अलिकति एक कुण्डला साबुन बेसार जस्तो पनि किनेर जीविका चलाइरा छु त्यस्तै
It's overwhelming, the emotion when you have that number of people who've walked for hours from 44 different villages to come and greet 2 Irish people. It's kind of extraordinary. It's a very delicate place here, I think. I think we've got to be very careful with what we do. But we've heard, some shocking stories about infant mortality, about just health issues and just hardship, I suppose. So how we're going to make an impact here yet, we still don't know, but there's certainly an awful lot that can be done that we've seen already.
अनि सबैभन्दा खुसीको कुरा यस्तै हो हजुरहरूले दिन चाहन्छु भने हामी एकदम दुखी ठाउँको मान्छेलाई यस्तै प्रत्यक्ष आएर हाम्रो काम पनि हेर्नुहोस् हैन हामी दुखी महिलाको लागि आफै आएर हामीले तपाईले हाम्रै हातमा यस्तो गर्न एकदम ठीक छ बाहिर अर्को मार्फत नेता मार्फत हामीले पाउने पनि छैन हामी दिने पनि छैनन् हाम्रो नाम गरी खाने दुनिया छन् हैन
Cully wants to immerse himself in village life, and he starts by looking at how his host family prepare their food. They make everything from scratch, including the precious cooking oil, which is extracted by hand from crushed nuts and seeds. For a man who is revolutionising ready-made meals in Ireland, Cully is about to get a taste of a very different way of life.
Extraordinarily hard work, actually. I'm getting out sort of a teaspoon of oil if I'm lucky with each knead that I do down this thing. And this is only the last step in a lot of hard work that went into getting this oil. Basically what happens is in season they head out into the mountains, into the forests in the mountains, and they pick fruit and they get the seeds or any nuts that they can find around the place. And they use about 1 litre of oil per week. So I've been watching her doing this like almost constantly. It's amazing. Maybe one day they can choose the oil they want to use for cooking like I do at home. They can choose their nut oil or their olive oil or their whatever other oil they might want to use for their cooking. At the moment they have no choice. I'm actually going to try a little bit of this now because I'm trying to know what it tastes like. It tastes like marzipan actually. It's not that bitter.
It's not quite Ballymaloo, but Cully can't resist the kitchen.
This is the oil. Where does the oil? That pour some in? Yeah. How much? Yeah. Yeah. And is there any way that it can be made easier to get the oil?
अब कहीं टाटा मिल सजिलो हुने भयो सजिलो हामी न गाडो उही बोकी ल्याउनु भारी बुनाबाट बुया बुना बोकी ल्याउनु अनि हातले चुड्नु हातले कुड्नु हातले पेर्नु
No, just in. One more. Yep. Go. Yep. It smells like mushrooms. It smells very good. The work that goes into making the meal is extraordinary. I mean, you should see their hands. They're worn. They're worn from grinding the flour. They're worn from making the oil. Everything is pounded out of itself. It's extraordinary. This is good. I like this.
Cully and Sully visit some small-scale initiatives.
Namaste.
But without any investment, they learn that the barriers are often insurmountable.
And then putting it down. Pretty serious strength.
Against the odds, the local women's cooperative does what it can.
हाम्रो जुन दिदीबहिनीहरू त्यसरी नै आर्थिक अवस्थामा पछाडी परेको कारणले गर्दा महिला विकास कार्यालयबाट उनीहरूलाई समूह समिति गर्दै एउटा गाविस स्तरको संस्था दर्ता गराएर आधिकारिक नै संस्था दर्ता गराएर महिला विकासले केही उनीहरूको आफ्नो बचत गरेको जुन रकमलाई आय आर्जनमा लगाउन सिकाइएको छ र त्यो आय आर्जनबाट उनीहरूले केही न केही तरकारी खेती बाख्रा पालन कुखुरा पालन सानातिना पसलहरू गरेर उनीहरूले आफ्नो बालबच्चाहरू पाल्ने आफ्नो आय अवस्थाहरू सुधार्ने गरेका छन् र महिला विकासले पनि केही यो चालु कोष भनेर बिउ पुँजी सपोर्ट गरेर पनि त्यस्ता संस्थाहरूलाई हामीले अझै अगाडि बढ्न प्रेरणा दिएका छौं.
Since arriving in Nepal, Nikki Deasy's view on charity and aid has changed. She now believes that by providing microfinance, small, low-interest loans, the poor of Nepal can trade their way out of severe poverty. The system is similar to how credit unions operate.
People in Ireland will be very familiar with, just direct aid, be that food aid or, building irrigation systems or building toilets or, that type of things where you invest, you build the well and you hand it over. But there is a view that that is not really great for people. First of all, it creates a culture of dependency where they're not taught to be independent, which isn't good for people psychologically. So microfinance is a different model, and basically it involves, generally in rural areas, a cooperative structure which is owned and run by the local people, and people save a certain amount of money every month, and after a period of months, maybe 6 months, they're eligible to apply for small loans. But the main advantage is that it's unsecured finance. So guys, remember
Nikki brings Cully and Sully to meet Gaugara Rakaya. Using microfinancing, she's taken repeated loans to build up her own business, selling vegetables and honey at the local market.
अनि त्यसपछि त्यसले अनि त्यसपछि निकै फाइदा भयो अब यति उति पनि हिसाब गर्न सकिएन जस घरमा तेल बेसार साबुन त्यस्तै टर्यो अब यो माटा अलि हुने जस्तो छ भने जस्तो लाग्यो अनि पछिल्लोबार 10,000 लिए मलाई के लाग्छ भने यो कर जोडेर अर्का काम गर्नु भन्दा यो यस्तो यस्तो आफ्नै न उले तरिकाले गर्यो भने राम्रै फाइदा छ
It's been a busy day of fact-finding for Cully and Sully. Over an evening drink, they take stock.
The microfinance thing now, we were talking to Nicky about, that's interesting. It kind of makes a lot of sense, this trade not aid thing that we'd heard about.
Yeah. Cully and Sully have been impressed by the way in which microfinancing has helped set up small enterprises. However, because the loans are so small, their businesses are very limited. They decide that some extra seed capital might make a huge difference and allow the women of the cooperative take on more ambitious projects that until now have been out of reach.
So what we really need to do is we need to talk to Bishnu in the women's co-op. We need to come up with a good project to do.
Yeah.
We need to get microfinance to finance that, and then we need to really develop those businesses to give the women confidence.
Back with his host family, Cully's thoughts turn to the question of a pilot project. He wonders whether the answer might lie in easing the burden of extracting cooking oil.
If there was some way that I could find some sort of a machine that could help not just her but all the people in the village, even if they had to pay a small amount for it, but if there's some way that we could get some sort of machine for taking the oil out of the nuts that's man-powered or cow-powered or hydro-powered, or the only thing it can't be is electrically powered.
Oh, go away!
Oh, what time do you think it is?
Oh, I don't care. Oh, Jesus.
Let's get up. Oh. Come on. Crikey, it's bright. I could do it a power shower.
The next morning, Cully and Sully decide that the time for talking is done, and they set about putting a plan into action. If they are to provide microfinancing in Simicot, Cully and Sully need to get the blessing of the central bank in Kathmandu. With communications in the village so slow and unreliable, Sully volunteers to make the long trip back to the capital.
Namaste, Mr. Mehta.
Namaste, how are you?
Colum O'Sullivan, very well. Mr. Mehta, we have been up in Simicot and we've been speaking...
The aim is to get the central bank to sanction Cully and Sully to provide microfinancing in Simicot, giving villagers with an entrepreneurial idea a chance to access desperately needed credit. Meanwhile, back in the mountains, Cully is experiencing the power of positive thinking. On the outskirts of the village, Without electricity, he finds water being harnessed to grind flour. The discovery proves that his idea of an oil pressing machine could work in Simicot. It would produce the same amount of oil in 1 hour as a family could make in 12 back-breaking days. Content in this knowledge, Cully decides to kick back and enjoy the ambience of village life. In Kathmandu, Sully has no shortage of ambience of his own to absorb.
Namaste. I'm looking for an oil pressing machine. Is there any way at all that you might have an oil pressing machine? Does anyone around here speak English? Do you have an oil pressing machine? We're getting oil out of walnuts.
After a long search, Sully finally tracks down an oil pressing machine for sale.
Namaste. Okay, so you put the walnuts in here.
Yeah.
Right, and then we twist this.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
We have to drive something from like motor or water turbine.
Okay, so that can be done from the river. That's hydroelectric
yes,
powered.
yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
All that's left is to use his business experience to settle on the right price.
What kind of price are we looking at for this?
18,000.
18,000 rupees. What can you do for me on the price?
No, prices are fixed as we have.
There must be something you can do for me on the
No,
on the
I
price.
can't.
You can't do anything for me on the price.
Nothing.
If we went down to 13,000, and I take it off you straight away.
No. Its price is fixed 18,000.
Fixed 18,000. There must be some room to maneuver.
No, I don't have any room.
I tell you what, 14,000.
No.
Come on.
No.
18,000. Okay, tell you what, listen, I've been all around Nepal looking for this machine. Let's just go and let's just do it and let's go into the office and sign the paperwork. Good stuff. Okay.
Thanks to an injection of microfinancing capital by Cully and Sully, the women can now borrow enough money to pay for the oil pressing machine. The co-op will pay back the loan over a number of years at a fixed, low rate of interest. The oil press is just a small and symbolic start, but the success of this pilot project means that Cully and Sully will continue to provide loans. By literally lending a hand, Cully and Sully will enable the village to progress economically and facilitate projects which will bring real improvements to their everyday lives.
Namaste. It is our great pleasure to hand this oil machine to you in a microfinance capacity.
र यहाँले यो जुन हाम्रो महिलाहरूको अवस्था उकास्नको लागि आय आर्जन गर्नको लागि यो जुन हामीलाई मेसिन उपलब्ध गराउनु भएको छ यसको लागि त हामी यो महिला दिदीबहिनी सम्पूर्ण यो हुम्लाको महिला दिदीबहिनीको तर्फबाट तथा मेरो कार्यालय महिला विकासको तर्फबाट मेरो तर्फबाट पनि धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु।
Namaste. Doing this was a fantastic experience. It goes back to, it was like setting up Cully and Sully. Taking a risk in life just works, and it's, sometimes you got to jump off the deep end, but it just things work out,
It's an amazing thing. I think more people should basically get up from their life and come out to somewhere like this and just do something to help.
Just so you don't forget us.
Cully and Sully plan to return to Nepal in the near future. And with Ulster Bank now adding additional funding, the microfinancing project is now expanding. In the lofty village of Simicot, things are looking up. Next week, hotelier Frankie Wheelahan trades 5-star comforts for the sobering realities of Sri Lanka. Among communities still devastated by the tsunami, can Frankie's entrepreneurial initiative rebuild confidence and rebuild lives?